Greetings, Ian from RTO here. It's Saturday, so in the co-captain's chair, nicking it from another's channel. But yeah, it's Richard. Good morning, Richard.
Morning, Ian. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm on back on top form. I think Thursday night, if I'd have done that live stream, it'd have been matchsticks. I'd have been like this. So yeah, I'm all right now. So today, this is one of Richard's ideas, and you can explain as it's your idea.
Well, basically, it's to list 10 of your favorite non-album B-sides from singles. So the B-side did not feature on any of the studio albums. Now, since the CD age has come, they're put on as bonus tracks, but that doesn't count. So a single with its B-side, the actual B-side did not get on any of the original studio albums.
Good challenge, and it was one that I've thoroughly enjoyed doing because there was so many. I've only got 4 bubbling unders today, though.
Oh God, I've 7, but we get down to 4.
So usual thing, Richard will go first, and then I'll go second, and then we'll do our bubbling. So it's over to you, sir.
Okay, well, my number 10 is actually a country song, and it's by the Bee Gees, and it was the B-side of Too Much Heaven in 1978, and the track is called Rest Your Love on Me. Now, it's absolutely beautiful. It is a country song, very, very melodic, and it was recorded around the sessions of the Children of the World, but it would not fit on that album, so it became a B-side. Now, I first heard this song whenever who was it? Andy Gibb recorded it as a duet with Olivia Newton-John, and it was a single in 1980. But I came back and I heard the Bee Gees version, and I think it's every bit as good. It's absolutely gorgeous country song, very melodic, as I say, and it gets my number 10.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously know the Andy Gibb and Olivia Newton-John, but I've never heard the Bee Gees song, but I will today. I mean, I think it's a good song anyway. So if Olivia and Andy did a good version, and I'm sure the Bee Gees, yeah, well, a good choice to start it off. Well, my number 10 comes from 1974, and it was a single, but it didn't chart. It's Deep Purple's Burn. Now, on the B side of that was a instrumental track called Cornelius Redig, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, I think this baffles a lot of Deep Purple fans. On the album Burn, there's another instrumental called A200, which is not particularly a good track. Why they didn't put Redig on the album, it just baffles me, because it's more melodic. It's got that soulful sound that Glenn Hughes and David Covell brought to Deep Purple. You've got some great Ritchie Blackmore guitar, and it's a great little track.
I don't know it, so I don't. But I'll take your word for it. But you find that a lot of these B-sides should have been on the albums. For example, my number 9 is also from 1974, and it's the B-side of This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us by Sparks, and the song is called Barbecue. And it is absolutely brilliant. It starts with a real heavy bass line, and it's the bass is the main instrument in the song, but it is so catchy. To me, it should have been on Kimono My House, but it never got there. In fact, the other B-side from Amateur Hour, Lost and Found, was good enough to be on the album, but Barbecue is a little bit extra special, and it's the bass that really works. So it gets my number 9.
I love that track. I've got that on one of these B-sides and rarity Sparks compilations. And again, what was it not on the album? Because it is it's typical Sparks, isn't it? It's just you know it's Sparks without even hearing Russell sing.
Yeah, exactly. I know, it's great.
It's a great track. What a good track. My number 9, again from 1974. It's from Status Quo, my favourite band, of course. And the single was Break the Rules. And on the B-side is a great track called Lonely Night. I love this track. There's so many good tracks on the Quo album. I can understand why, that in them, if it had come out as a CD, it would have come out on the CD. It's on the reissue now, which is great. But originally, before that came out, all we had it on was on the B side of Break the Rules. I just love the guitar in that from Rick. It's Rick's rhythm guitar on that. It's a bit of a country feel to it as well. It's a nice shuffle beat. It's just a really good song, and loads of Quo fans love this song.
Yeah, I know it because it was the extra track on the Quo album whenever it was reissued in CD. Good song.
Yes, very good song.
Well, my number 8 is from the Smiths. Now, the Smiths have had loads of non-album B-sides, but I'm going to pick one that's sort of forgotten about, and it's from 1987, and it's the B-side of Shoplifters of the World Unite, and the song is called Half a Person. And it's like an acoustic type song. It's quite reminiscent in a way of There Is a Light That Never Goes Out, but it's every bit as good. And I just love the lyrics of it. 6 long years chasing your tail. I just think it's funny, but it's very, very sad as well. But it did get on to the World Won't Listen, but that's compilation album, so it doesn't count. So Half a Person by the Smiths gets my number 8.
Yeah, and that's where I heard it first time on that compilation album. I mean, I obviously I've ranked the Smiths albums, but I thought I'll listen to this album as well, and there's some really good tracks on that, and that is one of them. It is a sad song.
It is.
And I think that the words that Morrissey wrote, everyone can relate to. It's one of them songs that it means different for different meaning for every person. It's got, but the solid song. It's a lovely song, and I do like that one. Okay, my number 8. I'm still in 1974. I seem to be stuck in 74 at the moment. Now, this is a B-side to a sweet song called The 16s.
Right.
Now, this is one of the cases where I prefer the B-side to the A-side, and it's the brilliant Burn the Night. Absolutely brilliant song. It's heavy. Andy Scott's guitar solo on that is absolutely amazing.
I thought it was Burn on the Flame.
Burn on the Flame. Have I wrote it down? It's Burn on the Flame, not Burn on the Night. Sorry, folks. Yeah, but Richard, good job, Richard's here. Yeah, you know the song, don't you?
Song very well. I very nearly got on my list. In fact, one of the other sweet singles, the B-side got on my Bubbling Unders, but I'm not going to count it, although I will mention it at the end. But it's a fantastic song, I agree.
It's heavy, isn't it?
It is heavy, but it's melodic as well. It's not just in your face heavy. There's a good melody to it.
Yeah, and I prefer it to the 16s.
I don't know. I like the 16s as well.
I like the 16s, but I think Burn the Flame is much better.
It took me ages to realize it's the 16s.
Yeah.
So the 16 I used to think it was people that were 16 years old, but it's not. It's 6 teens. Well, my number 7 is by David Bowie, and he did not have very many non-album B-sides. And I think the best one is actually from a single he released in 1970 called The Prettiest Star, which did not chart. And the B-side is a track called Conversation Piece. And it's acoustic-based number. It's absolutely beautiful. It should have been on the Space Oddity album from '69 because it was recorded around that time. But whenever Tony Visconti remixed the album in 2019, he added it to the album, not at the end, but in the middle of the second side because he thought it deserved to be on there. And it's an absolutely gorgeous track. And Bowie himself re-recorded it for the Toy Sessions in 2000. And I remember first hearing it actually as a bonus track on the Space Oddity CD when it came out around 1982. I've been a Bowie fan for about 12 years. I still hadn't heard it. And I was totally blown away by it, thinking, how on earth did this not get on the album? So that's my number 7, Conversation Piece by David Bowie.
Yeah, I remember when I was listening to the David Bowie for the ranking, and because I was doing things around, I just streamed it. Da-de-da. And you go, hello, what's this? So I stopped what I was doing and came in and looked at, so then I looked and then, If it was at the end, I could get it, but no, Tony puts it straight in the middle and totally confuses everybody. But it is a nice song.
Beautiful song.
Okay, my number 7, I'm finally left 1974, you'll be pleased to know, but I've only gone up to 1977. And it's the B-side of Mullakin by Wings. And it starts off, 3 cheers for the girls. Hip hip.
Girls' School.
Girls' School, which in America was the A-side.
Yeah.
But over here, it was a B-side. And this is the song that the band Girls' School got their name from. I love this song. It's a good old...
I didn't know the Girls' School, got their name from it, but yeah, there you go.
I just love that at the beginning, Linda going, 3 cheers for the girls. Hip hip. And then in we go. It's one of the best B-sides, non-album B-sides that Wings ever did. It's just a great track.
I have a sneaky feeling that was a double A side, but we'll count it because it was never played. But it's a good rocker, and it did quite well in America. Mulligan just flopped in America, so
I don't think they could cope with the bagpipes about what it was all about.
Well, my number 6 is from The Jam, and they're another band that has had brilliant non-album B-sides. But I'm going to pick another one that, is sort of forgotten about, and it's the B-side of News of the World. And it's called Aunties and Uncles. And it's a short song. It's a very simple song. But if you compare it to the A-side, which was written by Bruce Foxton, it is very simple. Like the News of the World, I think, is a lot of effort has went into it, and the results are not that great. But the problem was, at that time, Paul Weller was suffering from writer's block, and it just showed that, the simple little song that he was able to write is still miles ahead of what became the A-side News of the World. And there's another B-side on the single called Innocent Man, which is another Bruce Foxton song, which is absolute rubbish. But Aunties and Uncles, gorgeous little number, very melodic again. It's forgotten about, but I love it, The Jam. So it's my number 6.
Yeah, I haven't. I've heard that, but I don't know if it's on the Jam at the BBC or something. I've heard it on some album, and yeah, it's as simple as you get, but it is a really nice song. Okay, my number 6 is from 1984, from a single that was so successful it only got to number 61 here in the UK, and it's Mike Oldfield's Crime and Passion. And on the B-side is a lovely instrumental called Jungle Gardenia, a song that should have been on the Discovery album and take off. There's one that I think should have been taken off that album and that put in its place. And I think Crime and Passion should have been on the album as well.
Crime of Passion is a little bit too much like Moonlight Shadow,
but it's still a good track.
Yeah, I know it is. Oh, Jungle Gardenia, it got on the complete Mike Oldfield from 85, that double greatest hits.
Yeah.
Very, very good track. Well, my number 5 is from 1976, and it's Dave Edmunds, and it's the B-side of Here Comes the Weekend, and it's a track called As Lovers Do. Now, it was originally written by Nick Lowe and Dave Edmunds during the Brinsley Schwartz years. In fact, it was, I think, going to be put on their last album before they split up, which the album never came out. And Dave Edmunds recorded it during the Get It sessions, and it's the Dave Edmunds version which is the best. It does have a little bit of a country feel to it, but it's a bouncy little number, and it is catchy as hell. There's a guitar break in it, which is really, really good as well. And I just think it's a fantastic song. And I honestly, whenever I was researching this, I thought it was just a Nick Lowe song. And then whenever Dave Edmunds recorded it, he added his name to it. But I went back to check the Brinsley Schwartz recording, and it's down as Lowe and Edmunds. So obviously Dave Edmunds had something to do with it, which was great. But I love it. B-side of Here Comes the Weekend. It was also used 3 years later as the B-side to Crawling from the Wreckage as well, which is where I first heard it. But fantastic song. That's my number 5.
Yeah, I've never heard that one, so that's something for me to listen to. Okay, my number 5 from 1985. And it's a Slade song. And the A-side was The Mysterious Mr. Jones from Rogues. Was it Rogues Alley?
Rogues Gallery.
Gallery, that's it. And it's Mama Nature is a rocker.
Yeah. That's a good song.
Why it wasn't on the album, I don't know. But it was just a good old-fashioned, let's go back to when we really rocked. Don Powell on that is great.
It is a very good song, and it should have been on that album as well.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant song. I prefer it to The Mysterious Mr. Jones, actually.
I don't. That's one of my favorite Slate singles of all time, Mysterious Mr. Jones.
Yeah, it's a
I
great
know it's very heavy on the keyboard and the synth, but I absolutely love it. I think it's really, really good. Well, for my number 4, talking of Slate, it is Slate, and it's from 1974. It's the B-side of The Bangin' Man, and it's a ballad, and it's She Did It To Me, which is one of the finest songs I've ever written. And it's better than The Bangin' Man, but they couldn't release it because the single before The Bangin' Man was another ballad called Every Day, and you couldn't release 2 ballads in a row. So it got on to the B-side. And it is brilliant. It's, to me, again, it should have been on Old New Bourbon Blue, but Every Day was on it. And I do prefer She Did It To Me to Every Day. It's got a fantastic chorus, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous song. I guess my number 4.
Yeah, I can't add anything to that because you're absolutely right. It is a great song. And how it didn't end up on an album, I just don't know. I know it's on the rebooted master gravel mix, whatever you want to call it, as a bonus track, but it should have been there back in the day. Okay, my number 4 comes from 1982. Now, there is a little bit of controversy with this one. The song, the A-side was Age's Heat of the Moment. Now, on the UK 7-inch pressing, it was One Step Closer. But when I got the single, the B-side was a track called Ride Easy, and it was the international release. But when I brought the single of Heat of the Moment, the B-side was Ride Easy. So I thought, well, why have I got this? So I've done some research, and I've actually got the Irish press.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's a song that should have been on Heat of the Moment. It's a song they played live, and it's a great John Wetton song. It's lovely harmonies in it. Some nice guitar work from Steve Howe. It's just a really good song, and the fans love it.
There you go. I like In the Heat of the Moment. I do. I think it's a good song. But I don't know the B-side. Well, my number 3, and it's from an artist you've already mentioned, and it's from Mike Oldfield. It's from 1982, and it's the B-side of Mistake, which is another Moonlight Shadow sounding song. And the track is called Walbert the Peak. It's a beautiful instrumental. It's got a sound on it that sounds like bagpipes, but they're obviously synthesizer, and it's gorgeous. And then Mike Oldfield replicates the whole tune with a guitar, and it is fantastic. I've always loved it, and it too got on the 1985 Complete Mike Oldfield. I think it should have been on Crisis without a shadow of a doubt. Room should have been made for it because in America, the song Mistake, which is okay, it got on Crisis. It opened actually side 1 of the album. And you know the track Crisis itself, it was put on side 2. So I think Room should have been made for Walbert the Peak, and it's my number 3. Love it.
Yeah, I love that song as well. That's one thing with Mike Oldfield. There's a lot of great B-sides.
Yeah.
And I love that song as well, and it should have been on the album. I think they should have took off In High Places, even though it's got
Yes,
Anderson.
I agree.
Yeah, that should have been the replacement. Okay, my number 3, we're going back to 1964 and the Rolling Stones. Now, the A-side is Little Red Rooster. which is a great song. I've got the single. And on the B side, there's a little track called Off the Hook that is not on any album.
Oh, Ian, it is. It's on Rolling Stones #2.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I'm not
I'm
100% sure.
sure it isn't, because when I did the
Maybe edit this, you check it and see whether I'm right or not. I think it is Rolling Stones #2.
okay, well, in the bit in underneath, I'll put the what is, and if whoever's wrong or right.
See,
Yeah, but I mean, it's a great song.
that's not a bad little number, so it's not. But well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really am hoping I'm wrong. Well, my #2 is from ABBA, and it's the B-side of One of Us, and the song is called Should I Laugh or Cry? And this really should have been on The Visitors. It's a Frida song, and there's a lot of expression goes in the verses, and whenever the chorus comes, it's very melodic and laid back. And I believe that Benny wasn't completely happy with the way the verses went into the chorus. He didn't think the link was good enough, and that's why it became a B-side. But I wouldn't have taken anything off The Visitors. I would have added that to make it a 10-track album, because if it was on it, it would be in my top 3, 4 songs on that album. It is that good. So Should I Laugh or Cry from 1981 by ABBA.
Yeah, I've got that. That I brought you know that ABBA, they released that box set with all the albums on CD, and then they had that bonus CD.
Yes, it's on.
It's on that. Yeah, it's one of the best songs on that little bonus CD, I think. And yeah, it should have been on the album. It's a really
Right.
nice song. But that Benny was a bit of a stickler, wasn't he? If he didn't like something, he was.
Their quality control was so tight, which is bloody annoying, because there is a track called Just Like That, which needs to be released, and he won't do it. And it's completed as well. It's so bloody annoying. But anyway.
Okay, my #2, it's got literally something to do with the T-shirt I'm wearing. Although it's actually the real band, Marillion. Now, Marillion again were one of them bands that most of 90% of the B sides were tracks that are not on the album. Now, the A side was He Knows You Know, and the B side of this is called Charting the Single, which started live as an upbeat one before they went and recorded it. When they went and recorded it, they slowed it down and put this lovely sort of church organ in it for Mark Kelly. And the only other place you'll see this is on the recital of the script DVD. And it's the song they go, this is the one where the crowd go, ooh. Something. But Charting the Single is one of the best B-sides, apart from Grendel, that was only on the 12-inch. So I discounted that. But as far as B-sides go, there's this song and Cinderella Search on the B-side of Assassin. But for some reason, I just love this song more than Cinderella Search, which again, both tracks should have been on the script, and Cinderella Search definitely should have been on Fugazi instead of She Chameleon.
It's brilliant whenever one of your favorite bands puts on a B-side that's not on an album. And it's even better whenever it's really, really good. And it's whenever you buy a single and you find out that the B-side is brilliant as well, it's just extra special. So it is. Well, it was in those days. Those days are gone now.
Yeah.
Well, I think you know what my #1 is.
I think you do. I do.
It's Ting-a-ling-a-loo by Benny Hill, the B-side of Ernie the Fastest Milkman and the Complete Joke. But I have to admit, I do like that as well.
It's quite funny, yeah.
Okay, my #1 is There Was a Time, Raw Ramp, the B-side of Get It On. And it's really 3 pieces of music. You've got the sort of orchestral There's a Time, and then Raw Ramp is the T-Rex Boogie, which is one of his best boogie songs ever, and then Electric Boogie at the end is the Rock Out, which is really, really good. And as I'm repeating myself, this should have opened Electric Warrior. It really should have opened. And you could have dropped something like the song Planet Queen or Girl, which I do like, but I would have dropped them and opened the second side with Mambo Son. It's an absolutely brilliant track. And it did get on Bowling Boogie, but that's a compilation. And it was only listed as Raw Ramp, but it didn't mention there was a time. But a fantastic song, and I guess my number one. It's the best B-side, non-album B-side ever, I believe.
And guess what? I
Yours is
think the
number.
first time with our number one's been the same, hasn't it?
I think so, yeah, yeah.
I can't add much to what you've already said, but I'll just go back to when I went and saw T-Rex to see. You know, the lights come down, and then you get that little bit, and you go, "Hello, no." You thought, "Oh, he's just going to open with There Was a Time," and then go into something else. Oh no, 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 no! We had Raw Ramp, and the place went absolutely bananas.
So he actually opened the show with Raw Ramp.
Yeah,
You see, that's what I mean. That should have opened Electric Warrior. Okay, Mambo Son's a great opener, but that should have been on it without a shadow of a doubt.
yeah, and I've never seen a crowd go berserk. And then we just they had the break, and these guys just, well, that was worth coming just to have Raw Ramp open the gig.
Exactly, I know. God,
It is a great, it is, and it's the greatest B side ever. The whole thing is just brilliant.
totally agree. Well, do you want me to fire through my bubbling unders? Well, I'll fire through them all, okay, because we've plenty of time.
Yeah.
1981, Electric Light Orchestra, Julie Don't Live Here, the B-side of Twilight. Really catchy,
Brilliant
really
song.
great track. The Beatles have had loads, but I'm going to pick one, and it's from 1963, and it's the B-side of She Loves You, and it's I'll Get You, and it's one of their most forgotten about tracks, and I think it is magnificent. The Suite from 1974, and it's the B-side of Fox on the Run, and it's Misdemeanor with Steve Priest doing the lead vocals, and then you get all the guys singing in the chorus, and then at the end, Andy Scott rocks out. In 1981, Temple Tudor, Love and Food, the B-side of Swords of a Thousand Men. Really good rockabilly fun, and those are harmony vocals by the guys. Elton John from 1974, Cold Highway, and it's the B-side of The Bitch Is Back, and it should have been on Caribou. I would have dropped the song Stinker, although I quite like it now. And two more. I know I'm really firing through these. Rolling Stones, the B-side of Jumpin' Jack Flash, which is called Child of the Moon, was very psychedelic, and that song would have so enhanced their Satanic Majesty's Request, but for some reason it wasn't put on. And Satanic Majesty's Request is a good album, but there's some real dire tracks on it. And finally, it's the B-side of Only You Can by Fox, and it's a song called Out of My Body. And there's some really cool guitar in it. And then you've got Nisha Fox's absolutely seductive, sexy vocals, and it's a really melodic song. So those are my 7 bubbling unders.
Yeah,
Excuse
I
me.
mean, I do like Misdemeanor. I mean, I remember, when because I brought Fox on the Run, put it on the other side. Thought, oh, this is as good as well. I've got four, but there's one that I've sort of, it's not a single, but I wanted to mention it. So the first one is a really old song. We're going back to the 1960s, and it's Shane Fenton, known to us as, of course, Alvin Stardust. Now, the A side was a song called I'm a Moody Guy, which is all right. But on the B side was a thing called 5'2" Eyes Are Blue, which is just a good old rock and roll track and is far better than I'm a Moody Guy.
Right. Okay.
My next one is another Elton John song. This is the B side of the 1983 smash. I guess that's why I call it the blues. And it's called Chalk Ice Goes Mental. It's basically old Elton just with a honky tonk guitar, just playing a little, and it's great. I love it. It's just brilliant. My next one is from 1967. It's a Pink Floyd single, Arnold Lane, which was never on an album. And on the B side is a thing called Candy and the Currant Bun.
I don't know it.
No, it's just Sid Barrett being Sid Barrett. it's fun, it's jovial, it's just what we expected from Sid. It's absolutely brilliant. My next one is from 1974 again, and it's a Queen song.
I know what it is.
Yeah, it's the
See,
B-side, Seven Seeds of Rye, and it's See What a Fool I've Been, which, how the hell that didn't get on the debut album, I don't know. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, the other one it's actually a CD. Now, Iron Maiden released a song called Holy Smoke. And on the B-side, or the two extra tracks, are two covers. One is Golden Earrings Ce Soir, which is absolutely brilliant cover. And the other cover is a track called All in the Mind, which is a Stray cover. Now, I've met Del Bronham, who was in there. He was in a band called Killer Bees, and we was talking about it. He says, you do realise that Iron Maiden have just covered your All in the Mind? He said, yeah, I've heard it. And they've done a pretty decent job of it. He says, I'm quite chuffed. He says, the thing is, I'll get some money from it. So, yeah, I wanted to mention that one, but it's not really, it's not a single, but they are very good covers. And Maiden fans out there will know because it's on the B-side CD. So there we are. There's some good ones in there, and I think for the first time we have actually got the same number one. After how many?
We matched on a few artists as well. Maybe not the same songs, but we matched on.
Anyway, that's always been good fun. We've got a really good one for you next time. It's basically crap songs on some of our favourite albums. The one song that we go, no, I'm not listening to this. You miss it off, you skip it, you pick up the needle. So there could be some interesting ones on there. And I've already said to Richard that Hot Space is not going to be mentioned on mine.
That's because you love every song.
No, I like about 3. There you go. Which is not bad for me. Anyway, only it leaves me to say, I'll be back on Monday. And definitely will be back on Monday. And I'm going to do some glam rock, metal, hair metal, Cinderella. And we've got a great blues album in the blues break. We've got Howling Wolves Moan at the Moonlight. And that's about it. So thank you very much, Richard. It's always a pleasure doing these. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. Bye.